Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone's doing well. We are on our way to get Callum a haircut. Normally Roman and I do these things together, so this is the first time I'm doing this by myself with the two kids, but you know, better late than never. It always just seems to take a lot. Like, we've got Linnea, so someone has to keep up with her, and then Callum doesn't really like sitting for his haircut. He doesn't actually mind the haircut, but getting him in the seat and keeping him there is what's a challenge. And so very often we'll have to like just bribe the heck out of him to keep him seated, and that is very exhausting. We had plans of going to the South Bank today, which is just over where the London Eye is and all that. I was gonna take him over there and do that, but the weather's not that great, and Roman said he wanted to go with because there's apparently a German deli somewhere around there, and Roman wants to pick up some spätzle, and I was like, okay, you know, whatever. you go and get your spätzle and we'll just all go together. Do you like your haircut? He did not like that. He just doesn't like sitting in the chair. There are two things that went wrong. He doesn't like sitting in the chair, and then he doesn't like the cape around his neck. He just doesn't like stuff around his neck in general. And it's interesting because my mother-in-law is the same way. Look at that haircut. Handsome boy. I've got a watermelon that I need to cut, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Linnea's upstairs taking a nap, and I was just gonna talk to you guys a little bit while I cut the watermelon. There are obviously pros and cons to living anywhere. Hold on, let me just take you guys with me. I know you hear that. Listen. Linnea's sleeping right there. Right there. The people next door are doing construction. Yeah, I know. The people next door are doing some renovations on their house. They bought it a couple months ago. There we go. And I guess now they're getting around to doing some renovations. They haven't actually moved in. I don't know who's going to move in. I don't know if people actually bought it or if it's just another situation of, like with us, people just buy it to rent it out. As I was saying, every place has their own pros and cons, and it doesn't matter where you live, you're bound to find them all out. So, you know, living here in London has a lot of pros. We have a lot of access to really amazing things, a wide variety of products. You have definitely way more products in supermarkets and stores, even more shopping options and stuff. You just have more of a variety here. One thing that I absolutely hate about living here is it seems like everyone is always doing construction on their homes. Like, that's such a huge thing here, renovating the inside of your home. And like I said, I don't know if it's people that are just renting everything out, they're picking up properties and they're renting them, I don't know. But in general, it seems like everyone, I mean, on our street alone, just within a couple of blocks of us, there are like 7 or 8 different homes being renovated. So they have all the big scaffolding up, and it's just how it is. And that seems to be pretty normal around here. With that, I remember in Germany, this bothered me before I had kids, but I remember in Germany, there was kind of this unspoken rule everywhere where we lived, even in the city, because we lived in the city of Esslingen. I remember wanting to do something outside, and I had just moved to Germany, and Roman said, no, you don't do outside work, you don't make loud noises, you don't vacuum the inside of your house, like, you don't do any of that between these hours. And it was basically like, I don't know, I can't remember the exact hours, but even playgrounds and stuff, they requested that kids stay home during, and they even have like little signs and stuff that kids stay home, or that, you know, don't come outside, be quiet between these hours. And it was usually until like 2:30 or 3 o'clock. So kind of that hour between, those 2 hours between lunch and like 2:33, the early afternoon, they just wanted quiet. Now as a mom with kids, I often think to myself, especially with all the stuff going on around us and next door, I think to myself, you know, I have to put Linnea down for a nap. And oh my gosh, how great would it be to have that mandatory quiet time where you don't have loud machines going at all hours of the day. And it just would be so nice to be able to put my daughter down for a nap and not be stressed out. Is she gonna wake up in 10 minutes because she's woken up by power tools? So I often think that if we lived in Germany, what's happening right now at this time, because it's 1:30 in the afternoon, that would never happen. They would not be doing what they're currently doing. I'll never forget though, we had one man who was in one of our neighbors, basically where we parked our cars for our building. His front door was right around there. His house faced our car park for our building. And I'll never forget, Callum was a tiny baby, and Callum had colic and he cried a lot, and it was a whole different ball game than Linnea. And I'll never forget, I got Callum out of the car. It was the quiet time and he was just screaming, and I had my hands full of groceries and it was just so stressful. And I'll never forget, the guy was just reaming into me, just yelling at me like, don't you know it's quiet time, you know, be quiet, get that kid quiet. Callum was maybe 8 weeks old. That was a little tough. So I mean, you know, I think you have to have a heart when it comes to the quiet time, but I definitely see the use of it. I definitely see how beneficial it is. I'm just gonna sit here and cut this watermelon, maybe eat some myself, offer some to Callum, and yeah, it's a good chat. It's Friday night and it's TV night. We're not watching this. Are you serious right now? We're watching Sonic the Hedgehog.
Because I found it. It was skipping through what was added recently. You know.
Well, we're not watching that. I'm putting my foot down on that. No comment.
I don't know which. I don't know.
I don't know.
There's so much stuff I don't even know.
I don't even know. I know.